What's up guys, my name is Chris or Tentacalist, and a while ago I put up a video about the Dunning-Kruger effect. There'll be a link at the end, but basically what that is the inability to recognise your own mistakes. Okay? Now, sometimes you'll play a game and afterwards you'll lose and you'll feel like you've done really well and you're like, there's nothing I could have done. Yeah, I mean, not every game is winnable, so sometimes there is nothing you could have done, but there are things that you can learn from it, no matter what. Right? I was watching Wings of Death. He was streaming the other day, he was playing as a Riven, and the enemy jungler was a Fiddlesticks. Now, at the end of the game, Wings of Death on Riven, I can't remember the exact amount of kills to death he had, but it was a great ratio. He'd done very well. He'd CS'd very well, he put a lot of pressure on top lane and the middle lane. However, he fed around 6 kills. Not early, but by the time big team fights, important ones were coming around, he'd fed the Fiddlesticks about 5 or 6 kills. And now the problem with that is, he could have avoided it. He could have, after the game, they lost, and he went over kind of why he felt that they'd lost. And that's because he'd fed the Fiddlesticks. And he could have remedied that whole thing by just picking up Mercury Treads. He didn't buy them until way into the game. Now if he'd have bought the Mercury Treads, the fear wouldn't have lasted as long, and he'd have taken slightly less damage from the abilities, because you get magic resist and tenacity. And he would have been able to get away. Every time Fiddlesticks came to gank him, he would have gotten away. But unfortunately, he didn't build that, he just kept building damage, and then he tried to trade, like, he'd try and kill the enemy laner, but then the Fiddlesticks would also kill him, and so he was like, it's not really worth it, because the Fiddlesticks is getting more fed. And Fiddlesticks won them the game on the enemy team. Every team fight, he would just ult in, and pretty much get like 2 to 3 kills at least every fight. And so, yeah, it was just very unfortunate, but it was the itemization. He didn't build properly. Now, he was ahead of his laner, but the enemy jungler was much more dangerous of a person to be playing against, because Riven, if she gets CC locked, there's not much that she can do, whereas Fiddlesticks can just ult in. I mean, even if he gets CC'd, the ult's still going off, he can zone use it. It's just a very hard situation. So he ended up losing that game, and it's because of the items that he built. So, I'm not going to say don't use guides, definitely do. If you've not played a champion before, look at the guide, get a basic outline of what you're supposed to do with that champion, kind of a core item build, but know that no champion has a single build that you will always build every game. It just doesn't happen. It depends on who you're laning against, who the enemy team is, and also how far ahead you are or how far behind. So, back in Season 2, Ezreal, it was pretty typical to build Trinity Force on him, but if you were really falling behind to the point where they were going to have 2, possibly even a 3rd item by the time you've built the Trinity Force, that damage spike is not enough to keep you into the game. You will just fall further and further behind, and so you needed to change your build and build maybe like an Infinity Edge or a Bloodthirster. It's the same in this season. You need to build depending on the situation. I play a lot of Rumble, and so I would say that he has kind of a core item build of Sorcerer Shoes and Haunting Guys. So that's the kind of thing you want to aim towards. However, if you're playing against somebody like Renekton, who does a lot of damage very early, picking up some armor is not a bad idea. Don't be afraid to deviate from a plan that you have. So even though if I'm playing Rumble, I might be like, right, I want to get Sorcerer Shoes and I want to get Haunted Guys, but this Renekton's really kicking my butt. I should probably build a Doran's Shield, a Seeker's Arm Guard for the Zonias, stuff like that. Typically, as well, you want to know when it's appropriate to build something. So, let's say Morgana, for example. Abyssal Scepter, very good on Morgana, because she gets right in there, and dropping everyone's magic resist is great with her ultimate. However, if you're laning, let's say against a Zed or a Kha'Zix as Morgana, and the enemy top laner is also an AD champion, and then they've got an AD champion in the jungle, you're really wasting a lot of money on Abyssal, because the magic resist is pointless. They have no AP casters, everything's AD. So you'd be much better off going with Zonias into more defense, health, or if you just want to go Glass Cannon because you're going to Zonias the ultimate, whatever. You would probably avoid the Abyssal, even if that might be core on somebody's list on a guide. So while I recommend guides because they are quite good for learning, I recommend more, as well as using guides, just practicing, just testing stuff out yourself and just giving it a go. Just experiment. Don't go crazy. Don't start playing things that are completely ridiculous, like even just Morgana, AD Morgana. That's not going to work. She's not built that way, and people are just going to call you a troll if you do badly, and you'll just end up getting possibly reported for it. So I mean, it's up to you if you want to risk that and possibly find the next AP Trendemir, then go for it. But, you know, for somebody who's less skilled, I would say you want to kind of just typically experiment with normal items that are situational. So that is the video. On the left you can check out the Dunning-Kruger video, effect video, and on the right, if you click that, then you can go and check out the, let's put the, I don't really know what I'm going to put up there. Let's put up the Elise Spiderling Ward video. You can use little spiders kind of as pseudo wards. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and also a comment. Let me know what you think about this idea of situational itemization. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see more from me. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.